So yeah, actually we are live, and without any promo, we are again. So இது வந்து mock interview with tech HR part 2. Okay, already part 1 நம்ம already பார்த்தோம். And இந்த செக்ஷனில் வந்து ரிமைனிங் 8 people. ஸோ எப்படி வந்து அவங்க பண்ணுறாங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு பார்க்கலாம். Okay, so yeah, I will give this thing to Gayatri. And yeah, Gayatri.
Yes. So, hi, good evening, guys. Good evening, team, and good evening, YouTube. So, this is day 101 of our CyberDude live internship. So, last week we have seen the part one of the mock interview where half of our interns got interviewed by HRs. And in this week, we'll see the interviews of the remaining half people in our team. And yeah, so with this, also I would like to welcome HR Yogeshwari, Yogeshwari and Kirtana, who are present in the last session too, and welcome both of you to this session also. And with this, yeah, that's it. Let's continue with our live mock interviews for part two.
And remaining people, நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா you can watch this section on, I'm talking about team, so other team members who are all completed this section earlier. நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா you can watch this live stream, you can still get inputs from the guest, and you can try to have points noted. ஏன்னா மற்றவங்களுக்கு சொன்ன பாயிண்ட்ஸு அண்ட் மற்றவங்களுக்கும் எப்படி கேள்வி கேட்குறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு நீங்கள் தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ ஆல் வெரி பெஸ்ட் guys.
Hi, Anbu. Audible. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, and yeah. Yes, Sharif. You can just give an introduction about yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Mm. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharif. I'm from Nellore, Andhra Pradesh. I hold bachelor degrees in computer application, as known as BCA. Currently, I'm working as a full stack engineer intern at CyberDude Network Limited. That's all about myself. Is
So, hi, Sharif.
mm,
Can I know about your tech skills that
tech
which you,
skills?
what you have went through the internship?
Okay. Uh, I have strongly tech skills in HTML, CSS, Tailwind CSS, and more in JavaScript and little bit of React.js. And currently learning Node.js. That's all about my tech skills, man.
Let's start with HTML technical question.
Okay.
Can you please tell me what is the purpose of template tag in HTML?
Template tag. I don't know, man. I don't use that template tag. Now I am only hearing that.
Okay. So, what is your current version of HTML?
HTML currently we're using HTML5 now.
Yeah. Okay. What is the difference between the old one and the HTML5?
Okay. I think in HTML5 we have lot of semantic tags ideas. Older version we don't have semantic tags like sections and nav and header, footer, that like.
So, what is the purpose of attributes which we will be using in HTML?
We have attributes for um, okay. So if we have lot of attributes for specifically, we have commonly attributes like ID and classes are the commonly used for every tag, and we have particular some tags. There will be attributes will be differ from one tag to another one.
Yeah, hi Sharif, I'm Yogeshwari.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
you told that you are learning Node.js, right? Shall I
Mm,
ask some question in Node.js?
okay.
Yeah. What is Node.js?
Node.js is a runtime environment environment for JavaScript.
Okay, what is NPM?
NPM is a node package manager. I guess we lot of developers share their code to use another developers by installing their code man to their
Okay.
locally. And
Do you
that's
know what is middleware in Node.js?
no man.
Okay.
Currently starting, I learned starting basics only.
Yeah, okay. Anbu, do you have any questions?
Yeah, sure. My question is like, just give me the difference between JavaScript DOM and virtual DOM.
Okay. JavaScript DOM is a actual DOM, actual DOM in the browser. Virtual DOM is we are using React. It compiles our JavaScript, our HTML to virtual DOM. If we have changed anything in the mm, if we change any element, it refers and if only that particular element will be changed in that. In real DOM we have to render everything. In virtual DOM we have to render that specific element only.
Okay. So in CSS, just give me some five important properties in CSS.
In CSS properties,
Yeah.
height, width are commonly used, and we have padding and margin also
Okay. So these are all commonly used properties,
commonly
right?
used
Just give me
properties.
some different, like which we rarely use in CSS
Mm,
property.
Rarely Z index, which is
What?
used to Z index, Z index,
Z index. Okay.
mm,
Hmm.
which we use to showcase our layer. In Photoshop we have layers and two to
Okay.
three layers, which we need to toply show, so we can assign that Z index for a specific element to show at the top.
Okay.
Another will be second behind that Z index, behind that the Z index elements.
Okay. So what is the difference between Bootstrap and Tailwind CSS?
Okay, these two are UI UI framework or library for CSS to mm, to reduce the time we have spent to CSS. Just by adding class names we can achieve our goals. So these are the two tools we use a lot: Bootstrap and Tailwind.
Okay. So what is the difference between division and span?
Division, okay. Division is a block level element, and span is a inline block element. So division, it will took whole width of the web page. For span, it requires content space only. Okay. So I'm audible.
Yeah, yeah, Sharif, you are
Hmm.
audible.
What is the next question, man?
Do you know React.js?
Uh, I started learning only, man.
Okay. Do you know callback function in Node.js?
Yeah, particularly we have callback function in JavaScript too, ma'am. Whenever we need to uh, first assigning a function at the block, and we need uh, how can I okay, ma'am. A function which took another function as a parameter is known as callback function. That
Okay, okay.
parameter is the callback.
Okay. Kirtana? Kirtana,
Yes. Yeah, Yogeshwari.
do you have any question to
No, no,
ask?
no, no. Thank you, Sharif.
Okay,
Anbu?
thanks.
Is Anpus there?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, actually, sorry. My apologies. There was internet power shutdown. Okay. Uh, I think I'm audible right now, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So my last questions was like, what did I ask? My last question.
So, I guess the division tag and span tag difference.
So can you answer it once again?
Okay. Division tag, it takes whole width of the web page, and span tag, it takes the width only the specific inside the content only.
Okay. So in JavaScript, just what do you think about oops in JavaScript?
Oops.
Yeah.
Object oriented programming language. I, it's a programming. I think it's a style of some. We are defining the. I don't know particularly.
Okay. So what do you think about closures in JavaScript?
Mm. Closures, which we call a inside a function, which we return say inside the function is known as closure.
Okay. So what is use of use effect in React?
Use effect.
Yeah.
Whenever the we have state variable and particularly when we click the some buttons, it changes the state. So whenever we use the particular element in the whole page, if the whole page can't able to recognize the change, so we use the use of it, and we assign a dependency variable as the state variable. Whenever the the state variable changes, it automatically reflects the entire web page. And so we use for commonly lot of people say to uh, to remove the side effects. That's all.
Okay. So what are the backend options? I have a small application. Okay. Let's consider it's like a car rental app.
Okay.
So what are the backend choices you will suggest me?
Mm.
In
We
what ways we can
can
create backend? Yeah.
uh, for language we can use Node.js, and Express is a framework for Node.js. For storing the data, we can use MongoDB or SQL.
Okay. Give me any other options apart from JavaScript.
JavaScript. Okay, we can go with Java or Python.
How in Java? How you will go into? How will you create backend?
There is I think there is a framework called Spring Boot. I think
Okay. So yeah. What do you think about what is the difference between Python and JavaScript?
mm, both are both are known as scripting language. I think I don't know the particular reason why these two things are different from one to another.
Okay. Okay. List out the data types in JavaScript.
Uh, we have string, array, number, I think float, or and object, null, and symbols, undefined. Undefined to consider as data type.
Okay. Fine. So regarding JavaScript DOM, what is
Mm,
event propagation?
Even propagation.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever I we have four child symbol, four child elements, we need to assign a we whenever we don't want to assign four elements to be we don't want to assign events for four elements. We can assign for the parent element to click a particular element. We can by assigning parent parent element for clicking event and capturing the element particular ID or something. We can we can use that number for even propagation or delegation.
Okay, fine. So regarding deployment, I
Mm,
have PHP application. So how I could deploy that PHP application?
mm. Uh, for deployment, we can use GitHub pages or Netlify number.
So can you able to deploy PHP in Netlify?
I don't particularly I don't know.
Okay,
I
right, cool. But the thing
For
is,
front
like,
end we can deploy.
you couldn't deploy PHP in Netlify.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to depend on other services for that, for the deployment options. Okay,
What kind of that?
like you can depend on some lamp stack, LAMP, it's called lamp stack, which will hold Apache and other services, PHP, MySQL, and so on. So PHP is kind of it's not a JavaScript language, right? It's PHP is a different kind of language. So it is used to create dynamic web applications on
Mm,
server side. It's a thing. Okay, fine. You will learn it for sure in your future journey. Cool.
definitely.
Okay, fine. That's all my question. Team, do you have any questions?
No, Anbu.
Okay, super, Sharif. Then we are done.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we have another person in, and beforehand, let me have the chat so that I can able to. You can also see the chat here. Okay, so we are viewing it in two different platforms, I guess, on YouTube and also on Facebook. Okay, so let me see the chats, and if you guys have any other questions, you can ask me directly in the chats. I can able to see your chats here. Okay, cool. So we have another person ready. So shall we proceed? Yeah. So Lin Sweetie, you're on screen. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Clear.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Hi, Anbu. And hi, everyone.
Yeah, hi, this
Mm,
is Kirtana. Okay, tell me about
Hi,
yourself.
Ketana. Yes. Okay. Good evening. This is Biasan Sweety. I'm currently living in Malaysia, and I'm an engineering graduate. And currently, I'm doing internship as a full stack developer in CyberDude networks. And during this internship, I have developed a wide range of websites and web apps using front-end technologies like Tailwind CSS, Bootstrap, CSS, HTML, and React and JavaScript. And and then for backend, we'll be using Node.js and MongoDB. And in addition to that, I also have good communication skills as well as analytical skills, which will make me uh, very adaptable for new technology. That's all. Thank you.
What is the difference between JavaScript and Java?
Actually, these are not same languages. Java will be using for backend, and for JavaScript is particularly for web pages, websites, and web apps. For that, we'll be using, and JavaScript is a scripting language. Uh, yeah.
Tell me about the hoisting in JavaScript concept.
Actually, hoisting is prioritizing the variables or functions by taking it to the top of the scope or top of the memory, and and it can be initialized before declaration. For example, for function declaration, you can call the function before it was declared, and at anywhere you can call the function, and you can declare the function. Um Hoisting you this experience.
So, what is the difference between function declaration and function expression in relation to hoisting?
Okay. Okay. In hoisting, function declaration, it's considered as a function and it will be taken to the top of the scope. And whenever you call it, it will be accessible. But this function expression, it will be considered as a variable. So when you are calling this function expression before initialization, it will be giving you some errors. And if you call the function declaration before initialization, it won't give you errors. But this is because function, this hoisting will treat this as an variable, because we are storing a function in a variable. So the JavaScript will consider this as a variable, not as a function. But function declaration, it will be considered and it will be taken to the top of the scope.
Okay. Thank you, BSc.
Yeah. Hi, Biyashin Sweetie. I'm Yogeshwari.
Hi, Yogesh.
Yeah. You told that you have worked in MongoDB, right?
I have worked only one project, not much.
Yeah. Do you know MongoDB?
Okay, actually, MongoDB is a database where we can where here it is not a structured data. It is not a structured data. That's all I
Yeah.
know about MongoDB. Not much.
Okay. Do you know what is React?
Yeah, actually, React is a library, UI library. It makes our work easier to develop UI components, and it also gives us reusable components, which makes our works very much easy because we can use components reusable, and also it makes use of virtual DOM, which is a lightweight representation of the actual DOM. So the rendering will be speed as compared to the actual DOM.
Okay. How do you handle errors in JavaScript?
Actually, we use try, catch, finally method. Try will be giving some codes, and if that code is not executed, we will be catching it by catch, and finally it will be our output.
Okay. Difference between let and const keyword.
Okay, let keyword we can reassign, but we can't redeclare. But const we can't reassign and we can't able to redeclare, because these, and also the similarity between these both are block scope.
Okay. Anbu, do you have any questions?
Are now
Yeah.
audible.
So yeah, actually, on just tell me some five tags in HTML. Don't say H1, H2, H3. Say different tags.
So I can't get you. Can you please repeat your
Yeah,
question?
yeah. Am I audible? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Just
now
give
I
me
can hear
some.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Just to give me some five HTML tags. Don't
So
start
span.
with H1, H2. Okay. Try to give me a unnoticed one, unpopular one.
So dialogue mark you is a tag. No, the running in the website we used to see that something is running from this end to that side, so that you'll be using mark you tag for that. That is an unknown thing. Most of the people don't use that.
Okay.
And aside is there, aside tag. Then span we used to emphasize something, that is you use e tag, and then
Only
mark
E.
e, yeah, er emphasize I think
I think it's EM.
em, okay, em, sorry. And then mark tag is there, which where we can highlight the words. It's there.
Okay. So
uh,
have a table in HTML. Okay. And I want a structure like I have four columns in the table, and I want
okay,
to occupy one table. I am going to have three columns. I have four, what do we call? Okay, I will have four columns here, and I'm going to have three rows. Assume.
okay.
Okay. And I want to occupy my cell one should be in uh, row one and column one, and my remaining two columns should merge, and last column, the fourth column, should be as it is. What you will do?
I'm sorry, I couldn't be able to recall this. I just
Okay.
forgot it.
Okay, let me just tell me in other words. Like I have a simple table. Okay, so I
Okay.
want to expand the cells inside the table.
I think we can give a column 2 or 3. That's like for TR.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, cool. So what type of tags available in HTML?
Semantic tags.
Okay, there
Uh,
are categorized word, but that's not exactly the answer.
Header
How many
tags
ways we
that
can create tags?
how many ways we can
Create tags.
in
There are two.
in HTML or JavaScript, or
In
which you are
HTML. I'm talking
asking?
about HTML.
Okay. How we can create a tag, or how many tags are there? Or what you are asking? I couldn't able to
Like
get it.
there are okay. Let me say it. There are two ways of creating tags. What are the two ways?
There are two ways to create a tag. Um, I can't get it.
Okay. Can I give a clue? There's
Yeah.
something called we can. There's image tag and there's a division tag. These are the clues. One
Image
type
tag.
is image tag and another one is division tag. Can you name?
So how
Okay,
we can
let
create
me
it?
answer it. Yeah, there is two ways of tags we can able to create. First is self-enclosing tag, and another one is normal tag,
Oh,
HTML
okay,
tags.
okay, 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 okay. I'm
It's a simple
sorry.
thing,
I
but I
couldn't.
think you all yeah, fine. Okay, just give me some. What? How do you define animations in CSS?
So we use keyframes to uh, for animations. We use keyframes.
Okay, so okay, what difference between transition and animation?
Transition, just like linear. Actually, we use for animation only. We'll be using transitions. Like what kind of animation you need, just like linear or something. For that, we'll be using like that.
Okay, so what is the according to you? What is responsive design?
So responsive design is uh, whatever you are creating, that must whoever looking that must be clear to them. If they are looking at mobile, and it should be good for them, whatever you are giving, whatever information you are showing. So everything uh, with tag, with headings or images, whatever you are showing, that they are in each and every devices, it should be clear. And that's the thing.
Okay, so just give me some CSS selectors.
So we use selectors like by ID we used to do, and by classes we use this.
Other than ways, other ways.
Or other than this, you can also use by tag name. Inside this tag name, you need to select the, for example, inside the div, there's a H2, select that and give some coloring or something
What is the
like
name
that.
for
You can
that?
also do like that. Chaining, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't able to do that.
Okay. So can you
What's the name?
what?
What's the name for that?
That you have to find it out. Okay. So we have
Okay,
many other selectors here. Also, we do have
okay.
something called. So okay, shall I ask you another question? Like, uh, how to? I have a style, and I want that style to be shared on two tags. Two tags is going to use the same style, same CSS
Okay,
code.
we can use class. We can use the same class for
What are the
two
ways of
tags.
without using class?
Other names of, for example, if you are
You should
using the
not use
same
class
tag,
name.
for example, if you are using the same tag H2, then you can use H2, and
Okay.
H2 you
You should
can
not
style
use
it.
element also.
Okay. Other
Tell me
than
other
that,
ways.
you can use JavaScript. You can get it
Okay, I'm
and you
talking about
can
CSS
change
alone.
the color.
CSS styling alone.
Okay, in CSS, without using class, you need to do it.
Yeah. Without using class, and you have to give a different approach. You should not use
For
by
example,
ID. You should not use it by tag name, and you should not use by class. There are other ways to do that. So you have a H1 and I have H4. Okay, both tags should be both tags should do the styling, and the styling code is somewhat similar. I want the CSS style to apply to both classes, both tags.
you don't need H1 comma H4,
Yeah,
that type of thing.
yeah, that's the
You
thing I
don't
was
need
asking.
that.
Yeah, that's the answer actually.
Oh,
It's
okay,
called
okay,
yeah. Nice. So let me ask about JavaScript actually. So what
okay.
is NAN? NAN.
Not a number. Not a number.
Okay, just give me difference between double equal and triple equal.
Actually, these both are comparison operator. Comparator. This is a loose comparator, and that's a strict comparator. And this the three that for there your data type will also be checked, and if the data type is also not equal to the given one, then it shows some error. Your validation is not right. But here it takes only value and check the what is given, not the data type. It don't check the loose comparator, don't check the data types. Only the strict comparator you check it.
Okay, so what is difference between calling by reference and calling by value?
Calling by reference and calling by
Value.
where do we use it? Calling by reference.
That is actually uh, it's a way of programming which all developers will follow. There's something
Oh,
called
okay.
calling by value and calling by reference in JavaScript. Not only in JavaScript, even in other programming languages also it's applicable. Have you
For
heard of
example, we
it?
use variable name. Do we take it from variable name?
No, actually, we can categorize data types into two parts. One is primitives, and another
Okay.
thing is reference. Right? Do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
So primitives or these values will refer by the actual value, but in reference, the it will be what we call it will be based on the reference. Even if you change the object, it has to be changed in reference, right? That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a
Yeah.
typical. Everyone will ask the same kind of question, so you have to prepare an answer for that. Okay, next section.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so in JavaScript DOM, what is capturing? What is bubbling phase?
Okay. Actually, these two are event propagation. The type of error, the type of event occurring in our programming. So event. So you ask event bubbling, right? Event bubbling
Yeah,
and
even bubbling and
event.
capturing.
Okay. Actually, event bubbling is that the event happening from the child element to the parent or ancestor elements. So it will be happening from the child element or target element to the upwards. So that is called event bubbling. And event capturing is actually if the event need to event will be coming from top to down. I think. Event capturing. I was just confused of that.
Okay, so just give me some list of event handlers in JavaScript. JavaScript DOM, of course.
Add even listeners.
Yeah, I'm talking about event listeners. There are some events, right? Like click on
Yeah,
submit,
click event,
context menu. Just ignore
submit
it.
event.
I already said that answer.
Okay.
Give me any other example.
On click is there. On
I
click.
already said, I
I
guess.
guess, yeah, okay. On submit also you have said. Um, I don't think.
Okay, but still there are many other event handlers. You can just look on it on blur.
Mouse over on mouse over on
Yeah,
mouse
that's
over.
also one of the event handlers.
Those
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
on key up is also an event
Mouse
handler.
key down, key up, key down, key up.
Now it's yeah, these are all event handlers, but you have to be prepared at least 10 of the event handlers. If some person is
Okay.
asking those doubts, you have to convey it right away. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, in React JS, what is the difference between React JS and Vue JS and Angular JS?
Actually, React is a library, and library and Vue and other things like Angular. They are frameworks. They are full-fledged frameworks. You can, for example, in React, I can use a React to the small part of my existing project, but you can't do this in the Angular and Vue. You
Are you
need to
sure?
build the entire project. Yeah, you need to build the entire project in uh, Vue and Angular. You can't use them to the existing the single part of an my existing project. And React is a library, so it gives us lots of opportunity, lots of freedom to the developer to that you can use whatever you want. For example, if you want a router, you can use different types of router. For example, if you want to handle the state management, you can use different types. So it gives me such freedom while for developing.
Okay. So for information, we can also do the same kind of thing in Vue and Angular as well. Okay. There are other
Okay.
lightweight libraries which will do the same work like you said. Okay, good. So just tell me some React.js libraries which you will use with React.js.
React.js library.
Yeah. Anything
Uh,
like any third party services which you will use in React.js.
for example, we'll be using
You will using React router,
React
right?
hook form. React hook form
Okay, one.
is also a library,
Okay.
and React router is also a thing. Redux is also a library we'll be
Okay.
using. Uh,
Next.
other than
Give me
that,
any other two.
other than that, what will be? So, for example, we have installed a prototype, right, for doing that. That's also a library. Whatever you are installing from others for using npm, those things are library.
Okay.
And
So yeah, okay, I can get your idea. Yeah. So what do you think about context API in React.js?
context API, just getting the API from backend and using here. I think that kind of thing.
Okay. So how what are the other ways of handling states in React application?
Handling the state.
Yeah. Use state is
Use it
one of the method, but there are still other ways to
actually.
achieve the same kind of functionality.
Yeah, actually, I was doing my last project. I faced this issue of handling the states between the components. So there are many other methods like lifting up the state. So the common, if you are using a common state for two components, then you need to give it to the parent component. That's the lifting up the state, and you can also use context, and also use Redux for state management.
Okay. Any other? There's still
Other
many other
than that,
ways
I don't have
to.
it.
Okay, fine. So what is backend to you?
So backend, uh, actually, backend helps us to do. It can it can do what it can connect with your database. It can send data from. It can take data from the front end and send it to backend. For example, if you are submitting a form, it can be validated the backend, and it can send messages or SMS to whatever persons. You can do this with backend, and also backend it helps us to uh, send API. We can create API in backend.
Okay.
So such
So
things,
what is API to you?
application interface, application programming interface. So
Okay.
API consists
Just
of
try to
lot.
assume like I'm a kid. I don't know about technology. Try to explain me what is API.
So
Yeah.
API means you will be containing lots of information in the form of array of objects. So each and everything will be there about something or anything. It will be stored there, and when you are using that API into your front end, you will be getting lots of information. So API consists of information, and you can take that information through API, and you can display it in your UI. So maximum API will be generated in backend. Or other than that, if you need to create something, like you need to go with JSON.
Okay. So what are the other popular ways of creating backend?
So Node.js is there, and without backend, you can also do it with the Firebase. So it does the same work of hosting and database, everything will be there. Other than that, there some people will be using PHP, Java, .NET. People will be using that also for backend.
Okay. So just give me what are deployment options. I have a simple application which runs on JavaScript, of course. So just give me some three possible ways to deploy that application.
Is it a front end or full stack?
It's a full stack. Full stack means will
So full
include both
stack,
the front and back end. Yeah.
okay. So for full stack, we can use Vessel app. Netlify also you can do it, but Vessel is somewhat easier. So you need to deploy your server first, and then get that link. Then you need to give that link to the front end, and then you deploy your front end, get that link, then update your backend also. Now your backend and front end will be connected, and now your full stack app is deployed.
Okay, so my last question is like, what do you think about the our team? By the way, your internship team.
Team is a great. Our
No,
team is a
these are all
great team.
simple
Each and
questions.
every person,
I need, okay. I
our
need.
persons are. Okay, I'll do. I'll tell.
Mm,
I'll tell. I'll tell. Each and every person in our internship are unique with great creativity. No, when each and everyone bringing their creativity to for the review, you can tell that, oh, you can create these things in these ways. You can see their creativity at their best. So everyone are great in
okay,
this.
so give me
Unique.
some three negatives in this internship. Not internship. About your teammates, maybe. Don't disclose the name, but still, I want to hear. Just give me three.
I don't have any other negativities, but the negativities that internship is going to end soon. That's the only thing. Other than that, nothing.
Okay, fine, super. So that's all my questions, guys. Do you have any questions, Keitana and Yogeshwari? No.
No, no.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Baseline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, actually, the thing is like, um, எல்லாமே வந்து இந்த ஜேர்னியில் வந்து எல்லாமே ட்ராவல் ஆகிட்டு கற்றுருக்கீங்க இல்லையா, பட் ஸ்டில் வி ஹாவ் டு லேர்ன் ஈவன் மோர் இன் அதர் டாபிக்ஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ லெட்ஸ் கோ வித் another பர்சன். நான் எல்லாமே முடிச்சோன்னா ஐ வில் சே. ஓகே, ஏன் நான் இப்படி இருக்கேன்னா, ஐம் ஸோ டயர்ட் ஆக்சுவலி. ஐ டென்ட் ஹேவ் மை ஸ்டில் பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் கூட நான் சாப்பிடல, அதனால கொஞ்சம் டயர்டாக இருக்கேன். பட் ஸ்டில் ஐ வாண்ட் டு கம்ப்ளீட் திஸ் செக்ஷன் as soon as possible. அதனால தான் நான் இருக்கேன். ஓகே, லெட்ஸ் கோ வித் அகல்யா. யா அகல்யா, it's your on stage.
Hi,
Hello.
Agalya.
Hello,
I'm
ma'am.
Ishwari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
just
fine, ma'am. How are you?
please, fine. Tell me about yourself.
Uh, I am Muthu Agalya. I'm from Thuthukudi. I recently graduated with a specialization in electronics and communication engineering. I'm currently working as a junior full-stack engineering intern at CyberDude Networks Private Limited. Since joining as an intern, I have been actively engaged in learning and applying various technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And with these skills, I have developed some projects.
Okay, okay. What are the difficulties you faced in your project?
Uh, I didn't have much knowledge about full stack development initially when I start to learn full stack development. So whenever I learn a new language, I faced a lot of difficulties, especially in JavaScript. I faced difficulties while working in them, like storing the data in local storage and fetching data from API. Those things I have faced a lot of difficulties in those things now.
Okay. Uh, in CSS, we use like class ID, right? What is difference between class and ID?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Yeah. Do you know what is difference between class and ID? In CSS, we use class and ID, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me.
Uh, Class and ID is inside a element inside a tag. We give attributes like ID and class. Using that class and ID, we can style that elements. Using class selectors, we can style that element, and ID is used to style an element.
Okay. Do you know how to create hyperlink in HTML?
Using anchor tags, we can create hyperlinks. We can make use of that href attributes in that tags.
Okay. Do you know what is closure in JS? I mean JavaScript.
No,
Okay. What is hoisting in JavaScript?
Hosting is a default JavaScript behavior where variable and function declarations are moved to the top of with their containing scope, moved to the top of their scope, top of the scope.
Okay. What is Redux?
It's Redux is a toolkit. It's used to manage for. It's used to it's used for state management for large application.
Okay. What is the use of span tag?
A span tag. It's an span. The content inside the span elements will take only the space. The span elements. The span elements take the width only. Sorry, it takes the width. It's take the width that's available within the content.
Okay. What is our advantages of CSS?
Using CSS, we can style our web page. It's used for styling the web page.
Okay, Anbu, you carry on.
Yeah. So hi Akalia. So
Yeah,
actually, I
hi.
have some questions for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with HTML.
Okay.
So what is HTML, by the way?
HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. We can build a web page using HTML.
Okay.
It's used
So
to create a web page.
is it a programming language?
It's a markup language used for creating web pages.
So what is the difference between markup language and logical programming language?
Logic programming language means it's used to perform some logical operations. For example, JavaScript. In JavaScript, we may perform some logical operations. In markup language, we can just create is- we create the content, the structure of the web page. In programming language, we we use logics to. In programming language, we perform logic. In markup language, it's used for structuring.
Okay. So in how many ways we can able to style HTML document?
HTML document. For styling an HTML document, we may use inline styling. Otherwise, we can use CSS for styling the HTML in another file using class and ID selectors. We can style the HTML elements in CSS file, and otherwise, we can also use CSS frameworks like Tailwind CSS and Bootstrap. We may
Okay.
use
Give me some five tags in semantic HTML semantic
some
tags.
semantic HTML tags:
Yeah.
header, footer, navbar, main, then paragraph tags.
So paragraphs not exactly semantic tags, but okay, fine. So what is the difference between nav and header tag?
Header tag is like it's it's usually a header of the web page, where navigation bar it contains the links which may used to navigate within the page.
Okay, nice. So actually, what is the difference between Bootstrap and Tailwind CSS?
In Bootstrap, it contains predefined components that's used for a rapid development of the process. But in Tailwind CSS, it contains utility first class. We may use that classes to custom. It's used to it's in the Bootstrap. It has some predefined components. In Tailwind CSS, we can customize that classes. That's the main difference between those.
Okay, so what is the CSS box model? And
Box
mention
model
about its elements.
in CSS box model is it's uh, like padding margin. The margin is given margin is given outside the box and the padding is given inside the box. After that, there is the content is there.
Okay.
First
So
margin, then padding, then the content of that
yeah,
element
it
will be
should be like that. Content after content, above content it should be padding. Above padding only should have the border. Okay, you are
yeah.
mixing little things up. So content, padding, border, margin, it should go from that.
Yeah, okay.
So what is a float property in CSS?
Sorry, and I
What is
couldn't hear.
float property?
Float is float property is used for positioning the element. When we use flex, we use that float property to position whether it's where it may it's left or right. To position that element, we use the float property.
Okay, so what is how to define response design in CSS?
Using media queries, we can make responsive designs.
Okay, so I have a mobile layout and I have a tablet layout. So I want to appear only background color to that devices like mobile and tablet view. What code you will write?
And my battery percentage, could I plug in the chargers?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. So did you plugged in?
Yeah,
Are you
yes,
fine?
and
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
it's
So in JavaScript, actually, what is why they named JavaScript?
it's an
Any
script.
idea? Just give me your opinion. That's it.
It's an scripting language for the website, so they named us JavaScript. I think so.
Okay, so okay, what is the difference between object and arrays?
In object, we store values as and keys and we store key and value as a property. In arrays we store different in arrays is used to store a collection of different data types. In objects, we store the same data like key and value, that is called as a property in object.
Okay, so in JavaScript, give me some five keyword concept. Just give me some five keywords which you are remembering.
This keyword, then
Cons, let, for, while everything is a keyword, right?
yeah,
Okay. So only I think you only heard about this keyword while reading. That's why you are saying only this. But everything diplomatical idioms, it's called keyword. Okay,
okay.
right. So in JavaScript, just I have a set of fruits in array variable. Give me some possible ways to display all those fruits.
We can loop through it and display the content. We may use for loop, while loop, and do while loop to loop through the array.
So since we have all these kind of keywords, which one do you suggest me to use? Give me a reason for that.
Like for loop,
Why?
it's, it's widely used to. It's we easily loop through that array. It's,
Okay. So what is OOP in JavaScript?
uh, hooks are used to manage states in
Not
functional
hooks. Oops.
components.
Oops. Sorry. Hoops. Yeah.
Oops. Object oriented programming language.
Okay. Just give me some important concept, important fundamentals of oops.
Class, inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction.
Okay. So you have studied the EC, right? Electronics communication,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yes, and
Cool. So you have learned a lot, I guess. Cool. So what do you think about DOM and BOM? BOM.
BOM.
Yeah.
BOM is a browser object model. Uh, DOM is like it's represent how a web page is render in the browser.
Okay. So in how many ways we can able to select a DOM, select an element, HTML element in JavaScript?
Get element by ID, get element by class name, query selector, get element by tag name. And six.
Any other one? Give me another example on the topic.
Get element by class name.
Okay. There's something called query selector all.
Yeah,
Used
yes.
to. Okay. Okay. Fine. So just give me some five human handlers in DOM.
On click, on double click, on submit, on like key up, key down,
Okay. So
uh,
what is the difference between text content and inner text?
text content and inner text.
Yeah.
Text content is used to add the inner text.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. That's fine. So actually, you have already started building JS DOM applications, right? JavaScript DOM applications.
Yeah,
So why
it's
you want to choose React JS instead of DOM?
in React, everything is component based. We may use that component to build that UI. So in we may use it's like rendering due to the rendering process. We may use React JS.
When was React JS introduced?
In 2015, React JS was introduced by Facebook.
Okay. So who is maintaining React JS library right now?
Uh, a community of open source developers, and Facebook is maintaining this React JS library.
Okay. But it's not Facebook, by the way. It's called the Meta. Now, Meta Facebook is
Yeah.
powered by the Meta, right? Just like
Okay.
Google is run by Alphabet, like so.
Okay.
Okay. So give me the reason between. Give me some. What is the difference between use state and use effect?
Use state. It's a object that holds the value, the data of an component, which may change over state. In use effect, it's used to give some side effects to the functional component, like fetching the data from the API, and handling events like that. For that, use effect is used, and used it is used to change the value dynamically.
Okay. So what is API? Just try to explain me in a simple English. Okay.
API is application programming interface. It's used to connect between a backend and database.
Okay. So in what other ways we can able to build backend?
Like the technologies,
Yes, technologies.
we can use Node.js for developing backend. Like some other old technologies like Java and Python are also there. We may use that also, that too.
Okay. So can you can you deploy application in GitHub pages?
Yeah, it depends on the tech stack we use.
Okay, consider I have a simple React application which is run by Vite.
we can use we can make use of the GitHub pages to deploy the React app, just by making sure that the Vite configuration is set it up correctly. Otherwise, the GitHub pages won't won't
Okay.
display correctly.
Okay, just give me a difference between what is Git and what is GitHub.
Git is a versioning tool. It's used to track changes, used to track the changes in the local machine. We may use GitHub to push that code into online. For that, we are using GitHub.
What are the other libraries? I mean, what are the other platforms that can
Like
support Git?
GitLab, Git Basket. Mm,
Big
they are
Basket is
also.
a food company, I guess. Okay, fine, cool. Okay, that's all my questions, guys. Do you have any questions, Yogeshwari and Kirtana?
No, no, Anbu.
Okay, good. So good. Actually, I want to ask this question personally, Mutulakalia. Did you choose this background specifically for video or what? Your background. I can feel some
No,
kind of structure in your background, which looks nice. Okay,
I
cool. So I'm just asking, like, did you find that you did you choose this place intentionally or what, or is it a coincidence?
no one by usually used to sit this place at every meeting, so I just
Because it looks like a pattern. That's why I was asking. Okay, no Jesus. My last question is like, um, what do you think about your teammates?
everyone is helpful. Whenever we need a help, I just go and ask them. They never said no. They never said no, and they just sorted out the problem. They helped me to sort out the problem.
Okay, fine. Okay, Akalia, thank you. You did well.
Thank you.
Okay, so great. And we have a thing here, interview in Tamil, please. ஒரேளவும் புரியல. But sadly, it's an interview. அதனால தமிழ்ல பேச முடியாது இல்லையா? அதனால people are forced to talk in English in this section alone. Okay, அது நம்ம எதுவும் பண்ண முடியாது. ஜாப் வேணும்னா அவங்க பண்ணி தான் ஆகணும். அங்க போயிட்டு தமிழ் பெருமை பேசுன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, வேலை கிடைக்காது நம்மளுக்கு. கரெக்ட்டா? அதனால கொஞ்சம் நம்ம இங்கிலீஷ் பேச ட்ரை பண்ணலாம். That's the thing. So we have a person here. So Vijay, make sure you are on. Yeah,
Hi, Imran.
yeah. Hi.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Hi, Vijay.
Yeah,
I'm
hi.
Yogeshwari. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Vijay Vedasaran. I'm from Navapuram district and I have completed BCA degree in St. Joseph College in 2023. Uh, in my college days, I used to work on a startup named IV Designs. Here, my role is junior front-end developer. Here, I do responsive web designs and some web layouts using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and also a Bootstrap. Now I am Now I am continuing internship at CyberDude Networks. I have learned a lot of things using Tailwind CSS, React JS, and get the GitHub and how to give PR request. A lot of knowledge I have learned throughout this internship. Yeah, that's all about this.
Actually, Vijay, I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah,
Your head is shaking. Is it intentional or your webcam is shaking?
and
Okay, okay, fine. So in HTML, just give me some. If you didn't put any HTML or head or body tag, if I have a simple H1 tag, will it render or not? My output.
yeah, it's also rendered. I think I don't use it.
You think? Okay. Why it is working? Any idea?
The browser will patch up head tag and
The browser will patch up. Okay. Right. So, what are the other ways of styling in HTML?
using CSS also, and using CSS frameworks such as Bootstrap or Tailwind.
Okay. What are different types of stylings available in CSS?
Yeah, inline styling and internal styling and external styling.
Okay. Okay. So, what is JavaScript to you?
A JavaScript is a scripting programming language that is used to make a interactivity to web browsers, websites.
Okay, that's all. Huh?
Yeah, and also it is used to also backend also.
Okay, fine. So just give me some. What is the difference between cons and var?
Yeah, where is the older method to create a variable. Cons is a after ES6 cons is come to the JavaScript. In const we const have a local scope, where has a global scope. In const we didn't modify the data types, but we modify the arrays. Inside the arrays we modify the arrays data, but not to be modify the data type.
Okay. So what is hosting in JavaScript?
A hosting is a normal JavaScript behavior, which is the function or variable hosted to the top of the scope of the call stack.
Mhm. Okay. What is the use of aside tag in HTML?
In aside tag, we use to put an article, some ads in the side of the pages. So we use article tag, aside tag.
Okay. So what is the use of position in CSS?
Yeah, positioning we use to position a element in such a absolute or relative.
Hmm. Okay. So what are the possible values in position?
Yeah, top, bottom, right, left,
Okay.
and relative
So
absolute.
just give me difference between transition and animation.
I didn't know about animation, but transition is we give some time latency or linear or some other styles too.
Okay.
And
Right. So next question is like, what is rule set in CSS?
in CSS, we can use enclosing tag with the properties.
Hmm.
And in CSS, we first we reset the padding and margin of the browser default browser using global selector.
Okay. So what is universal selector
Universal
in
selector
CSS?
is star. It select the whole page.
Hmm. Whole web page.
Yeah,
Okay. So can we apply filters in CSS?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Using image property, I didn't use somewhere,
Yeah, but
but
for information, there's a property called filter where we can apply filters to existing elements. Okay, you
yeah,
can take a look on it at later stage. Okay, so what is embed CSS?
embed CSS like we embedding some external CSS codes to HTML page. That's,
Okay, it's like having like a internal CSS. Okay, the other time is embedded CSS,
okay,
right?
okay.
So let me ask something on JavaScript. So
Yeah,
just give me some five keywords in JavaScript which you have recently learned.
recently function and async await and fetch.
Okay. So explaining about fetch and await.
Yeah, fetch is used to get external data from API link, and await is used to is a asynchronous operation, which is used to
What is asynchronous operation?
asynchronous operation is in sometimes we need to get data after the time after the several times. Then we used to using asynchronous operation. Basically, JavaScript is synchronous. We
Mm.
used to make asynchronous. We used some web APIs like fetch and promise. Also, we used to make async confirmation and set time out and set time interval also.
Okay. So how will you use? I have a web page and I want to use a different font. How can I achieve that?
You use Google fonts. We import, we select the fonts we like in Google Fonts, and we import in CSS. We import in CSS also. We embed a script tag in HTML also, and use that property. We use font.
Okay, what is the use of what is the JS DOM, by the way?
JavaScript DOM is the way of the HTML and the render in the web pages. It's put on the object form, like object tree.
Okay, what is the use of making it as a tree?
We easily to manipulate that objects and put some other objects to
Okay.
differentiate some.
So can we able to manipulate the DOM without using JavaScript?
Yeah, sure. And we also DOM is a usually we use DOM in all of the programming languages.
Mm. Okay. So what do you think about React.js?
React.js is a UI library which is used to create simple single page web application.
So give me some five libraries which you will work, which you'll use with the React.js library.
Yeah, React router and React DOM and
Mm.
also React hook forms.
Okay.
Then also Tailwind also a library I use to styling components.
Okay. Right. So what is OOPS according to you?
OOPS is a object-oriented programming language which has a several topics such as inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation.
Mhm.
Encapsulation.
Okay. What is encapsulation?
I don't just I know the topic. I know only inheritance only.
Mhm. Okay. So just what is API? I want have a
API.
simple document. Okay, I have simple what do you call information. I want to convert it to an API. What you will do?
In the document we put the data in JSON format. With the
Okay.
using of Node.js or Express.js, we make it a API with the JSON.
Okay. So give me some five keywords in JavaScript.
Already you asked this question. I
Okay,
will answer.
just again try to have another five keywords.
Yeah, this keyword letter
Make sure that you didn't repeat that. Your same answer. Okay.
letter const where foreign
Okay.
for
What is
of
the difference between let and cons?
yeah let is used to let is in a local scope. Let is in let we can change the variables data types also. In const we didn't do that.
What is prototype in JavaScript?
Prototype.
Yeah.
A prototype is some object property of object which contains several properties that uh, we use in all of the programming, all of the objects we encapsulate the prototype.
Okay. So in React.js, what is hooks?
The hooks is a normal JavaScript utility function which is developed by JavaScript developer. It is used named as a hook in React.
His name is Hook.
Yeah,
Okay. Right. So mention some at least three hooks in React.js.
uh, state, use effect, one context, use context.
Okay. So in what other ways? What are components in React.js?
Component is a normal JavaScript function which returns a piece of JSX code. We can reusable use that component in anywhere we want.
Okay. So what is JSX?
JSX is a JavaScript syntax extension which looks like we use HTML and JavaScript syntax in JSX.
Okay. So what are the state management libraries that are compatible with React.js right now?
Redux and I think so. Sustand is a new library.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how you will create a backend? What is backend and how you will create it?
A backend is a server side of the application which contains the database and some logics to perform dynamically.
Okay.
In in
What
backend
are
we
the
use
other technologies that you can use to build the backend?
also a Node.js with Express and MongoDB and also PHP with MySQL and also in JavaScript. In Java we use JDBC
Okay.
and also a PHP with using a Django framework.
What is SQL and what is NoSQL?
A SQL is a relational database and NoSQL is a non-relational database.
Okay. Right. So just give me some five deployment options for JavaScript stack applications.
Using GitHub pages with static websites and use Heroku, Vercel and Netlify and also AWS Cloud.
Okay. Which do you recommend for me?
Yeah, yeah, full stack application or just front end?
It's a full stack application.
Yeah, I recommended Vercel.
So can you able to run my backend code on Vercel?
Yeah, using Node.js in JavaScript only we use Vercel. I didn't use that and I know how to.
Okay. So you have to say two negativities of this internship and two positivity of this internship.
Two negativities is inconsistency and without planning.
Okay.
Positive is say project-based learning and everyone makes good progress.
Okay. I asked two negatives and two positives. You said
Yeah,
one negative and one positive, right? You have to fill
two
another.
yeah, one negative is inconsistency and another negative is planning without planning.
Planning. Okay, fine. What about the another positivity?
It's project-based learning
Hmm.
and we have the good people around us. We have some networking opportunities also.
Okay, fine. Super. That's all the questions I have. Ketan, do you have any other questions to ask? Okay, fine. Then no, she says. Okay, thank you, Vijay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. So actually, we have I think one, two, three, four. I guess right. So Ketan, do you have we have four, right? Okay, only two. Cool. So let's go with the other persons, and we have some questions to have here. So we'll ask them one by one. So great work, brother. To show have a நீங்க வந்து கமெண்ட்ஸ் இங்க பார்க்கலாம். Okay. Uh, nice. So Sherin, actually, in fact, we are planning to have a dedicated section on this interview, mock interviews. ஏன்னா நிறைய பேர் வந்து யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குன்னு நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க. அது எந்த அளவுக்குன்னு தெரியல, பட் ஸ்டில் we are planning to bring out some expertise persons, industry expertise persons, okay, so who will share, who will ask in a professional way, so others can able to improve themselves in. Okay, so yeah, this will keep using, yeah, definitely, thank you thank you. Okay, right. And bro, I know MySQL and SQLite, can you explain SQL? Actually, there are two types of databases available. Okay, two categories of databases. One is called SQL, another one is called NoSQL. Okay, so we can save information. The main purpose of SQL is to store data, right? To store that data. So in SQL we have many options like Microsoft SQL, MySQL, MariaDB, and Postgres, and so on, so on. So it all falls under the SQL category. Whereas in NoSQL we have many set of NoSQL databases as well, like MongoDB, Cassandra DB, etc., etc. Okay, and typically when you're working with JavaScript, most people will try to go with NoSQL, like MongoDB, or some people will go with Postgres or MySQL. It totally depends on your skill set. And for SQLite, they will be using for simpler projects. Like if it is not so, it's a very simple project, they will be using SQLite. Okay, but for professional usage, people will go with MySQL. It's more stable and it handles most of the problems seamlessly fine. That's the thing. Okay, so SQL, I will make a short video on that. Maybe after this internship, I will make a short series on SQL. We have some interesting instructors coming up to explain about the SQL part. Okay, let's talk on that at later stage. Right. So we have the person here. Let's come. Let's ask him to join. Yeah, he's available. So hi, citizen.
Hi, Andrew.
Yeah, you can give me introduction over yourself.
Hi, all. Hi, YouTube. My name is Vershan. I'm a student, first year student pursuing computer science engineering and Government College of Engineering, Tirunelveli. I have joined this internship with my brother's reference. Luckily, as a student, I got selected in this internship, and till now I'm surviving here. I have learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and basics of React. I'm currently learning Node.js. Uh, Thank you. That's all.
Okay, fine. So Sudarshan, since you said like you are a first year student, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, so let me start with the basic knowledge. You are also traveled with this for 6 months, I guess, right?
Yes.
So in HTML, just give me some. What is self-enclosing tags? What is closing tags?
Self-enclosing tags and for example, if we take a image tag, it's a self-enclosing tag.
Give me some examples of self-enclosing tags.
Um, image tag, input tags. That's all. And remaining other tags are which are closing as a closing, opening and closing tags. And for
Yeah,
example,
okay.
div
So
tags.
my kind suggestion is like next time, please, when they ask such questions, you prepare five. You go and prepare with the five self-enclosing tags. Okay,
Okay.
you should
Yeah.
able to talk freely with those tags. You should not
Okay.
think. Yeah,
Okay.
good. So actually, what is tag and what is attributes in HTML?
Tags means tags are elements within that we can give attributes like class IDs. Uh,
Okay. So in CSS, what we can do with CSS?
it's basically give style to web page. Just adding some colors, looking making our page nice, attractive.
So what are the frameworks that are available in CSS?
Frameworks, Tailwind, Bootstrap are some frameworks available.
Okay. So next thing is thing like what is box model in CSS?
Box model, if there's if a web page is there, if and that's a content inside in that web page. By using box model, we can use the content and outside the content there is padding. Outside padding outside padding border and border outside margin. We can use this to make our content or which place we want to place, give some margin, using some padding margin we can align the content, using that is called box model.
Okay. So, what is the difference between padding and margin?
We can give the padding inside the margin only, and the margin is outside the padding. It is padding some gives some space inside the margin, and
Okay. So, what do you think about Git and GitHub?
Git is actually a version control system, and without GitHub can be used, but Git without GitHub, Git can be used, and GitHub is a cloud storage which is used to store our codes.
Okay. So, just give me difference between. Have you heard about object and array
Uh,
in JavaScript?
I, yes, and
Okay, there's something called call method, apply method, bind method. At what topic did you use? You will use such kind of methods.
mm, can you repeat that question?
So in JavaScript we have something called call, apply, bind method. Okay, you will be using all these three in one topic, one keyword. Okay, so in arrays we can able to call. You can also apply, and you can also use bind to add. Same like functions. Okay, that's the thing you have to know. Okay,
Okay.
so just explain about this keyword.
This keyword and if we are using for declaring a function and function what are the capabilities available in that function, we can log that this keyword and it will shows the properties or function what we can do that function, it will show in that this keyword and
Okay, so what is the difference? Just give me some five data types in JavaScript.
data types string or integer flow string integer boolean begins reference object also a data type member, it's a reference data type.
Okay, so what is tag literal?
Tag template literal
No, tag literal.
tag literal no the
Okay, so what is temple literal, by the way?
template literal we can if there is a variable declared in the JavaScript at the top of the code if we're declaring a function, and we can use that by using if we are using declaring a variable inside that function, and we need to use some write some content using that keyword which is mentioned the top of the code, we can use the template literal and give the name of that variable which is given the top. At that time, we can use the template literal. Inside the template literal, we can also write the HTML code also on the
Okay, so what is the difference between text content and inner text?
text content. If there's space, it includes a space also in the text content. Inner text, whereas it gives only the text alone.
Mhm. So what is different between dot inner HTML and dot append in JavaScript DOM?
Dot in HTML, we can write in a HTML code, and by using append, if we can in HTML we can declare ID and call it in JS, and by using that ID we can append that inner HTML to that particular declared elements.
Okay, so what do you think about React.js?
React JS is a library, JavaScript library, which where we can write both JavaScript code and HTML code.
Okay, so just what is use effect?
Use effect as it's a hook method, and handling APIs or making any changes for a particular content in the file, we can use that use effect. Okay.
Okay. So just what is Node.js?
Node.js is a backend technology. It's a server-side technology. It's a database where we can store users' input data and
Okay. So what do you just give me some reason like why you should go with you as assume like you have two options. First thing is you have Netlify. Another thing we have is Vercel as deployment option. So which one you will choose?
and I have used Netlify and till now and I have used Vercel and so I face in my opinion I will for Netlify.
Okay, right. So what are the other ways of creating backend?
Ways of creating the technologies
Other technologies, yeah.
Express.js, PHP, Python, and
Okay.
um, SQL, MongoDB,
What do you think about
database.
databases in
What are the
what do you mean by databases?
databases? It's where a database. It is used to store the user's input data and
Okay, cool. So yeah, so you have to say about two negativities of this internship. What you will say?
negative is. For me, it's as a student, it is kind of difficult to manage my studies and this internship also. And this is one of my negativity. And another negativity means I am unable to attend some sessions. That I'm not to attend some
It's
sessions.
no, it's connectivity, right? I'm talking about. Okay, forgot that. So I want to like you should say something like okay, it's not necessary, I guess, in especially on live stream. Okay, fine. Do you have any other questions to ask me?
Um, is this a good start for me in my career? Andu?
Is it a
Is this internship a good startup for me for my field,
def?
computer science field,
Yes, definitely. You are studying which department?
computer science engineering, and
Engineering. Okay. Then you are a software engineer, right? So you are just doing your first year and you're doing a great work, by the way. So you're on a right track right now. Most people don't even myself, if I'm at that, yeah, I mean, if I'm the person at your age, I was like a dumb person. I don't know anything. Okay. Now you're doing a great work. You can able to create such applications. I can see your work. You're doing a great job. Nice. Super. Okay. Ketan, do you have any questions?
Yeah, yes, Andu. Uh, okay, Sudarshan. Can you please list out the positioning in CSS what you have used so far?
positioning. You can use a display property or float property. Absolute. If we declare absolute, we can declare top bottom.
Okay. So, can you please differentiate absolute and fixed positioning?
Mm, First, we have to declare the relative for a position. Declare relative for one element, and after that only we can use absolute because which at which place we have to place that absolute element. So at that time we can use the absolute element, and by giving the parent element as relative, and inside that we can declare that absolute, and using that absolute we can place that element at particular place regarding to that relative elements.
Okay. Uh, and so, how much do you think you were occupied with this internship and also with your team members?
How much can I just repeat that question? Keep-
Like how this internship is important to you?
because this is my starting point, and I have applied, and I have got entered in this internship. This is a great luck for me, and
Mm.
I am previously I have interest in that also. So I'm searching, I'm learning by YouTube. At that time I got this chance. So this is a great achievement for me.
Okay, how do you handle with your team? How do you coordinate with them?
If there are any doubts, if they am unable to any sessions, and I will ask some of my team members, and they will clear some doubts. They, in that way, mm, that way, okay.
Okay, other than specific, other than doubts, do you have anything specific with your team you have done so far?
No, no, no. Till that, I have no, 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 no.
Okay, Sudarshan, thank you.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you,
great citizen. Thank you.
thank you, and thank you
Yeah,
all.
yeah, cool. So yeah, uh, actually, Gayatri, do we have any other person to join, or do we? Okay, so we still have last person who is yet to be arrived here. Okay, so how to attend your interview, bro? Actually, this interview it's process of the full stack live internship. Okay, so currently we are just interviewing only those candidates, but maybe in future we can able to invite other people who are willing to attend our interview sessions. Okay, in future maybe, yeah. And we have some activities என்னால் இப்படி பேச முடியுமா அண்ட் எனக்கு ஒன்றுமே தெரியாது ஆக்சுவலி கெட்டவன் எந்த கெட்டவன் தெரியல நீங்கள் பட் ஸ்டில் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் தி பீப்புள் தேர் ஆல் பிகினர்ஸ் ஓகே ஸோ தேர் ஆல் ட்ரைங் இப்போ நீங்கள் பார்க்குறது வந்து டக்குன்னு ஆன் ஸ்பாட்டில் பேசுறது கிடையாது 6 monthஸாக தே ஆர் ஆல் ஸ்ட்ரகிளிங் டு லேர்ன் இம்ப்ரூவ் தெம் செல்ஃப் லேர்ன்றதோட தே ஆர் ட்ரைங் டு இம்ப்ரூவ் தெம் செல்ஃப் ஓகே getting knowledge. As you can see, many people in this internship, most of the people are coming from the non-technical background. ஓகே ஸோ வேறு இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்லாம் போயிட்டு அண்ட் அங்கெல்லாம் வந்து இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் அண்ட் வேறு ட்ரைனிங் இன்ஸ்டியூட்ஸ்லாம் போயிட்டு அங்கெல்லாம் வந்து கிளாரிட்டி இல்லாமல் பீப்புள் ஹேவ் கேம் டு திஸ் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் அண்ட் யூர் டூயிங் அ கிரேட் ப்ராக்ரஸ் ஓகே அண்ட் ஸோ எவ்ரி ப்ராக்டிஸ் நீங்கள் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணிகிட்டே இருந்தீங்க வச்சுக்கோங்க கண்டிப்பாக உங்களாலையும் முடியும் முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு எதுவுமே கிடையாது யூ ஹேவ் டு ட்ரை இட் ஈவன் மோர் அத்தாட் பண்ணிடலாம் அத்தத்து வாட்டி அவ்வளோதான் ஓகே ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் வந்து பாருங்களேன் எனக்கெல்லாம் வந்து வென் ஐ வாஸ் சீயிங் சுதர்சன் ஆஸ் அ பர்சன் ஒரு ஃபஸ்ட் இயர் படிக்கிற பையன் இவ்வளோ டேலண்டடாக இருக்கும் போது நம்மளுக்கே ஐயோ வயசாகிடுச்சு நம்மளுக்கு அப்படின்னு ஃபீல் ஆகுது ஓகே ஸோ இஸ் அ ரைட் ஏஜ் டு வெனா இப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து எப்போல்லாம் நீங்கள் பார்க்குறீங்களோ டோன்ட் திங்க் அபவுட் யுவர் ஏஜ் ஓகே யூ ஹேவ் டு ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் இன் நீங்கள் முடிவு பண்ணணும் யூ ஹேவ் டு டிசைட் ஆர் வி கோயிங் டு கோ இன் டு திஸ் ட்ராக் ஆர் நாட் இஃப்னா நீங்கள் வந்து தேர் ஆர் மெனி ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் அவுட் தேர் யூ டோன்ட் நீட் டு ஸ்பெண்ட் ஈவன் ஒன் மணி சி இப்போ பர்சன் லைக் எப்படி தெரியுமா இது வந்து காசு கட்டி ஜிம்முக்கு போயிட்டு ஒரு நாள் வந்துடும்ல திருப்பி அதே மாதிரி தான் லேர்னிங்குமே இருக்குது ஸோ மணி கான் பிரிங் யூ நாலேஜ் okay money can help you bring that knowledge but you can but in this generation every content is around us you have to have that audacity you have to have that consistency to learn அதை நீங்கள் தான் டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கணும் okay that's my kind suggestion right so we have a last person coming in and yeah so Sudarshan you are on stage hi
Hi, Riaz.
yeah your voice is not audible கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க ஒரு வாட்டி no you are not audible so if possible try to troubleshoot your audio okay no still no I think செட்டிங்ஸில் போயிட்டு கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ண முடியுதான்னு சொல்லிட்டு give it a try right And we do have other mates, 3 absentees இருக்காங்க, but we won't be considering them for our next interview sections. Okay, அதனால that's all. Let's have Reyes as a final candidate and let's move on. Reyes பேசுங்க. No, still you're not audible. Okay, if possible, okay, we can't able to share your screen too, right? Okay, can
Can
you
you
check?
please take out your headphones and use your speakers? Headphones எடுத்துடுங்க.
Can you able to hear what we are saying? Not your voice. Okay, then your mic is not having any input. If possible, try to have it. Try to come with. Try to unplug your headphone. Try to talk it with your phone speaker, phone mic. Still, I can only read it from your mouth, but still we can't able to hear you. No, still we can't able to hear you. Okay, you just again try. Okay, I will give you another 2 minutes. No, you're not audible. You're not audible. So you have to check. Okay, so Rias, can you able to hear me? Okay, if possible, try to go to your settings, and in settings you have audio. I guess you are on laptop only, right? So go to your settings and go to your audio, and you have to select your audio input to your device. If you're using a laptop, then try to plug your headphone and try to configure it. Try to see your input should be listed over there. Right. So your speech as a motivate for my studies. Definitely, if it is really, I'm so happy. And yeah, actually, see, my main aim is what like என்னால முடியும் அப்படின்றத வந்து பண்ணுறத விட என்னால் முடியலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு லைஃப் வந்து கிவ் அப் பண்ணுறாங்க பார்த்தீங்களா, அந்த பர்சன்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் தந்தால் தான் ஐ ஃபீல் மை லைஃப். ஸோ யூ கைஸ் கேன் டூ திஸ் திங். லைக் என்னன்னா, யாரெல்லாம் வந்து கஷ்டமா இருக்குன்னு ஃபீல் பண்றீங்களோ, யூ ஷுட் டெஃபினெட்லி மிங்கிள் வித் அவர் டீம் through Discord, of course. Because see, many people even in this internship, they will get lost, and they will many times எப்பப்பெல்லாம் யாரை ஃபேஸ் பண்றாங்களோ எல்லா டைமுமே வந்து இங்க வேணாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு போற மாதிரிலாம் அவங்க யோசிச்சிருப்பாங்க மேபி. பட் ஏன் போயிருக்க மாட்டாங்கன்னா, ஐ வில் பி ஆஸ்கிங் சம் அப்டேட்ஸ். அண்ட் அப்பப்போ வந்து டாஸ்க் கேட்பேன். மற்றவங்க நல்லா பண்ணும்போது they will have that kind of interest towards them. ஓகே, அதனால தான் வந்து they are still இந்த 6 monthsமே அவங்க ஒன்றா கூட இருக்காங்க, ட்ராவல் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ இட் நீட்ஸ் அ லாட் மோர் டெடிகேஷன் ஃபார் யூ டு டூ. அதனால just don't give up. Just travel with us and definitely you can. Right. So yeah, Riyas இப்போ கேக்குதா? Still கேட்கலையே. Still I couldn't able to hear. ஓகே ஃபைன், நோ ப்ராப்ளம். நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ல பார்த்துக்கலாம். ஜஸ்ட் கிவ் இட் ட்ரை. நான் பேசுகிற ஃபைனல் டாக்ல உங்களுக்கு வந்துச்சுன்னா ஓகே, இல்லைனா நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் லைவ் இதில் பார்த்துக்கலாம். ஓகே ரைட், சூப்பர். ஸோ தட்ஸ் ஆல் கைஸ். ஸோ இஃப் ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருந்ததுன்னா நீங்கள் வந்து ஷேர் பண்ணலாம். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ கீர்த்தனா, ஆஸ் அ ஃபைனல் வெல்கம், நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா, யூ கேன் ஜஸ்ட் கிவ் எனி இன்புட்ஸ் இஃப் யூ வாண்ட் டு ஷேர் வித் அவர் டீம் மேட்ஸ். டு யூ வாண்ட் டு ஷேர் எனிதிங் எல்ஸ்?
Yeah. ஸோ ஆஸ் அன்பு ஆல்ரெடி டோல்ட், ஒரு விஷயம் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா கண்டினியூட்டியாக பண்ணால் அது கரெக்டாக இருக்கும். பிகாஸ் நானுமே வந்து லைக் டாப்பர் அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. அண்ட் ஐ ஹவ் ஜீரோ நாலேஜ் இன் டேட்டா சயின்ஸ். அண்ட் நான் வந்து டெவலப்பருக்கு தான் ஸ்டார்டிங்கில் படிச்சிருக்கேன். பட் ஐ ஹாவ் 1 year எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இன் டேட்டா சயின்ஸ். அது ரொம்ப நியூ. ஸோ கன்சிஸ்டண்ட்டாக ஒரு விஷயம் நம்ம லேர்ன் பண்ணோன்னா யாராக இருந்தாலும் நம்மளால வந்து லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்க முடியும். ஸோ நிறைய பேர் சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க, லேர்னிங் அஸ் நோ ஏஜ்.
Yeah, definitely. With that thing, I would like to share my incident. Like, நான் நிறைய பேர்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருப்பேன். லைக் என்னோட அவரோட ஏஜ் வந்து 45. ஓகே, ஒன் பர்சன் கால்ட் மீ அண்ட் இஸ் ஏஜ் வாஸ் 45 அட் தட் பீரியட். ஒரு 2 இயர்ஸ் பிஃபோர் ஆயிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். 2 இயர்ஸ்னா நாங்கள் இப்போ தான் ரீசென்ட்லி ஆயிருக்கோம். ஓகே, ஸோ அந்த பர்சன் வந்து ஹி வாஸ் லைக், ஐ அசியூம் லைக் ஹி வாஸ் ஹி வில் பி டூ டயர்ட் இல்லை. ஸோ 40 ப்ளஸ்னாவே கண்டிப்பாக ஃபேமிலி ப்ரெஷர் அதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பாங்கன்னு சொல்லி நினச்சேன். பட் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் கைடட் ஹிம் ஆஸ் ஒரு ஒரு எனக்கு கான்ஃபிடென்ட் பெருசாக இல்லை. ஓகே, ஸோ அவங்ககிட்ட சும்மா நான் வந்து சொல்லணுமே தான் சொன்னேன். இதுதான் ரியாலிட்டியான விஷயம். ஓகே, பட் அந்த பர்சன் என்ன பண்ணார் அப்படின்னா, நான் சொன்ன விஷயத்த கரெக்டாக ஃபாலோ பண்ணார். ஓகே, ஸோ 6 மாதம்னா அந்த 6 மாதத்துக்கான கரெக்டான ஷெடியூலை வந்து ஃபாலோ பண்ணிவிட்டு அவர் என்ன பண்ணாருன்னா, அந்த 6ஆவது மாதம் வந்து திருப்பி அவர் நம்பருக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணுது. நான் நான் என்ன சேவ் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன்னா, அவர் நம்பரை வந்து லைக் அவர் நம்பர் வந்து சும்மா சேவ் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன். அவர் பேர் மட்டும் போட்டு சர்ச் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன், சேவ் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன். ஓகே, ஆனால் ஒரு வாட்டி கால் பண்ணும்போது தான் எனக்கு ஒரு மாறி இருக்கும். ஐயோ, நம்ம என்ன பதில் சொல்லுது தெரியலையேன்னு வெயிட் பண்ணியிருந்தேன். 6 மாதம் கழிச்சு அவர் எனக்கு கால் பண்ணாரு. கால் பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தாரு. நான் எடுக்க முடியல. அண்ட் ஒரு சமயத்தில சரி நம்ம கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணிடணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் அவர்ட்ட ஃபோன் அட்டெண்ட் பண்றேன். அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணும்போது அவர் வந்து தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்றாரு. எதுக்கு தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்றாரு? நம்மள ஏதாவது கலாய்க்கிறாருன்னு தெரியலையே! அப்படி இப்படிலாம் சொல்லிட்டு நினைச்சேன். அட் லாஸ்ட் தான் தெரிஞ்சது. ஹி காட் எ குட் ஜாப் இன் டிசிஎஸ். ஓகே, ஃபார் எ டெவலப்பர் ரோல். ஆஃப் கோர்ஸ். நான் நினைச்சு பாருங்களேன், 45 வயசுல அவரால வந்து டெடிகேஷனா உட்கார்ந்து படிச்சு அவங்களால ஜாப்க்கு போ முடியுது அப்படின்னா, ஏன் வந்து உங்களால பண்ண முடியாது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல்? நம்மலாம் வந்து இந்த வயசு வந்து ஜாலியா Instagram ரீல்ஸ் நோண்டுறதுக்கே டைம் ஆயிடுதுல்ல. பட் வி ஹேவ் டு பி கன்சிஸ்டன்ட். நம்ம லைஃப்ல முன்னேறணும்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், வி ஹேவ் டு வொர்க், லேர்ன் நியூ திங்ஸ். அதெல்லாம் பண்ணா மட்டும் தான் நம்மளால வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ்க்கு போ முடியும். சும்மா உட்கார்ந்து யா
மைண்ட்செட் மேட்டர்ஸ்.
டெஃபினெட்லி யா, மைண்ட் செட் மேட்டர்ஸ். அந்த 45 ஏஜ்ல வந்து என்னால முடியாது, முட்டி வலிக்குது, அது வலிக்குது, இது வலிக்குது. 40 இஸ் நாட் அ ஓல்ட் ஏஜ் பை தி வே, பட் ஸ்டில் ஐ அஸ்யூம் லைக், ஏன்னா அது வந்து ஒரு அது கொஞ்சம் போகுது இல்லைங்களா? வயசு கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாகுது இல்லைங்களா? நியூ லேர்னிங்க்கு வந்து நிறைய பேர் அந்த சமயத்துல வந்து ட்ரை பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. "அப்பா எனக்கு வயசாயிடுச்சுப்பா, எனக்கு வேணாம்ப்பா" அப்படின்னு வந்துருவாங்க. பட் டெக்னாலஜி வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு கீப் அப் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் நான் பண்ற வீடியோஸ்லாம் வந்து கரெக்ட்டா பார்த்து அதுவே எவ்வளோ பெரிய விஷயம். அந்த கன்சிஸ்டன்சி தான் எல்லா டைமும் லேக் ஆகுது. அத நீங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், டெஃபினெட்லி யூ கேன் ஆல்சோ அச்சீவ் பிக் ஹைட்ஸ். டோன்ட் வெயிட் ஃபார் தி ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி, ட்ரை டூ மேக் இட். ஓகே, சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்கள் லைக் எனக்கு வேலை கிடைச்சா போணும், அந்த மென்டாலிட்டிய தூக்கி போடுங்க. வேலை எல்லாருக்குமே கிடைக்கும். ஓகே, அந்த வேலை நம்மளுக்கு புடிச்சதா இருக்கணும். அண்ட் அந்த வேலைய வந்து இட் ஷுட் பி யுவர் லைஃப் சேஞ்சிங் டிசிஷனா இருக்கணும். ஓகே, நிறைய கம்பெனிஸ் இருக்கு. வெளில போனா கூட நீங்க அழகா பண்ணிடலாம். ஆனா, உங்களுக்கு புடிச்ச கம்பெனில இருக்கணும். வி ஷுட் ஹேவ் தி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் வொர்க் என்வைரன்மென்ட் வேர் யூ கேன் லேர்ன் திங்ஸ். அந்த என்வைரன்மென்ட்டே வந்து உங்களுக்கு வீட்ல இருந்தாவே வீட்ல இருக்க மாட்டீங்க. அது மாரி என்வைரன்மென்ட்லாம் இருக்கு. சில ஆஃபீஸஸ்லாம். ஓகே, அண்ட் அங்கலாம் ஜாயின் பண்ணி நீங்க வந்து உங்களோட திங்க வந்து நீங்க இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். தட்ஸ் மை கைண்ட் சஜஷன். ஸோ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் மென்டாலிட்டி. கோடிங் வரல அதெல்லாம் சும்மாங்க. ஓகே, இஃப் ஐ அம் எ பெர்சன் ஹூ ஹஸ் 32 அரியர்ஸ். நான் ஆல்ரெடி சொல்லியிருக்கேன் நினைக்கிறேன் நிறைய வாட்டி. வென் ஐ கேம் அவுட் ஐ வாஸ் ஹேவிங் 32 அரியர்ஸ், ஸ்டாண்டிங் அரியர்ஸ். Okay, if I'm a person who has arrears can create such applications, you can also do it. அதனால எதுவுமே யோசிக்காதீங்க. ஜஸ்ட் வந்து யூ நீட் அ பெர்ஃபெக்ட் மென்டார் டு வொர்க் ஆன். அந்த மென்டார் மாதிரி சூஸ் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. மென்டார் சூஸ் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், கரெக்டான ட்ராக் வந்து அவங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவாங்க. உங்க இடத்துக்கா இல்ல வந்து வேற உலகத்துக்கான்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க உங்களுக்கு சூஸ் பண்ணிப்பாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ லெட்ஸ் கோ வித் ரியாஸ் இருக்காரா இல்ல கிளம்பிட்டாரா? ஐ திங்க் ஹி இஸ் ஃபெட் அப். ஓகே, ஃபைன், சூப்பர். ஸோ நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து இது வந்து செக்ஷன் 1 ஆஃப் mock interviews. We are about to conduct more interviews. We have still 2 mock interviews scheduled in future. Okay, so அப்போ நம்ம திருப்பி நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். அண்ட் இந்த செக்ஷனில் வந்து ஐ லைக் டு கன்வே திஸ் திங் என்னன்னா, ஐ ஹவ் ஒன்லி ஆஸ்க் தி சம் பேசிக் கொஸ்டின்ஸ். நான் ரொம்ப டீப்பாக டெக்னிக்கலாக நான் கேட்கவே இல்லை. பிகாஸ் ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு டிஸ்ட்ராய் தேர் கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ். தேர்ஸ் அ ப்ராவர்ப் தட் சேஸ் லைக், ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ட் நம்மளுக்கு ஒருத்தன் தந்துச்சுக்கோங்களேன், அவன் வந்து சூப்பராக பர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவான். ஓகே, ஐ பிலீவ் இன் தட் ஸ்ட்ராங்லி. அதனால தான் நான் வந்து யார் கான்ஃபிடென்ஸும் இப்போ நான் வந்து யூ நீட் டு ஒர்க் ஈவன் மோர் சொன்னா வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், அகெயின் யூ வில் ஃபீல் யுவர் செல்ஃப் சம்வாட் நமக்கு தெரியல போல, நம்மளுக்கு வேணாம் போலன்னு சொல்லிட்டு வில் ஃபீல் டிஸ்கரேஜ். ஸோ அந்த ரீசனுக்காக தான் நான் ரொம்ப டிப்பிக்கலாக நான் வந்து கொஷின்ஸ் கேட்டேன். ஸோ இந்த கொஷின்ஸ் ஆன்சர் பண்ணிட்ட உடனே ஓகே நமக்கு எல்லாமே தெரியுதுன்னு நினச்சிக்காதீங்க. ஓகே, there are a lot more things we are about to learn. Okay, so next sectionsல வந்து we'll be asking a little more concept related-ஆ நிறைய questions கேட்போம். and we'll be having some questionnaire, more questionnaire focused on more advanced concepts. Okay, so people who are all want to improve this thing, you stay with this live internship, and in the Feb 29 வரைக்கும் it will be conducted. and அதுக்கப்புறமா அது எப்படி போகுதுன்னு தெரியல, அதெல்லாம் வந்து போகிற வழியில் பார்த்துக்கலாம். Okay, that's the main thing. Yeah, Keetana, so do you have anything to share?
No one. Okay.
Okay, then yeah. So Gayatri, so you can have a final farewell. Yeah, you're on screen.
So yeah, yes. So by this, our part two of our mock interviews comes to an end. Thank you everyone for participating, and people those are watching it live YouTube or Facebook, thank you guys for being a part of the internship too till now. And also for further updates, please you can just follow CyberDude Networks Private Limited or social medias and YouTube if you want to get to know more about the live internships or mock interviews or anything else to learn. And also I would like to thank Anbu Selvan Rocky and also Kirtana and Yogeshwari, and she left early because she had something else to do. And thank you guys,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
that's it.
And also, I want to thank Ketana Shivakumar ma'am for having this wonderful time with us. And for information, I'm not Anbichan Rocky, Anbichan alone. Okay,
Right.
right.
Yes.
So cool. So Ketana, please share our thankful note to your Yogeshwari ma'am also.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure, Anbu.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay. Fine.
pleasure being part of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will also make a call to her personally regarding this thing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys, and let's see it on maybe on next mock interview.